Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning into this week's video because we will be talking a lot about music. So, the Kid Icarus Uprising soundtrack is known for its beauty and influence within the game. In this video, we'll be discussing a few different things. So first off, I'll be discussing my findings from different scholarly sources, discussing the significance of music within video games, and then following that, I'll be discussing a song from the game that's meaningful to me, and to wrap it all up, I'm going to play that song for you guys on my trombone. So, it's going to be a blast. You know the drill. Let's dive in. So the music within Kid Icarus Uprising is extremely beautiful and is one of the main aspects that makes the game so unique. The mythical soundtrack enhances the overall mythological aesthetic upheld by the game. So upon researching, one commonality found throughout all of my sources is the idea that video game soundtracks are ultimately respected much less than other types of soundtracks. For example, movie soundtracks, musicals, etc., and are often overlooked when it comes to the conversation of media soundtracks as a whole, especially within the academic world. So remember that. This was evident within my own research by struggling to find any sort of discussion surrounding the Kid Icarus Uprising soundtrack outside of fan-based web pages. Which is disappointing because just as much effort, if not more, has to go into these video game soundtracks only for them to be swept under the rug or not receive the same kind of recognition as some of these other soundtracks from other pieces of media. So, Karen Collins made the point within her book titled Game Sound, an Introduction to the History, Theory, and Practice of Video Game Music and Sound Design. She states, quote, "I would argue that at this stage, games are so new to academic study that we are not yet able to develop truly useful theories without basic, substantial empirical research into their practice, production, and consumption," end quote. So this explains why I struggled to find scholarly discussion surrounding my game's soundtrack because of how new and under-researched the gaming community is as a whole. She also made the point that I had previously failed to consider myself about how much goes into the sound design and production of a video game soundtrack. The songs often must align with character movements, levels, certain actions. Producers also have to ensure the audio and dialogue also align with the soundtrack. There's just so many moving pieces that I even failed to consider. So Peter Crathorne also made similar points within his piece titled Video Game Genres and Their Music. So he discussed how there is still much more basic research that needs to be done on video game soundtracks in general, but specifically when it comes to the relationship between character movement and the music composed for it. So I found that was interesting. This idea of how the soundtrack pertains to the game is fascinating to me. And this brings me to my next point. So, the Kid Icarus Uprising soundtrack ranges anywhere from beautiful and angelic to intense and triumphant. So, the song I'll be playing for you guys today is known as Magnus's theme. Now, Magnus is the only human within our game, therefore his character history is a little bit irrelevant and not as important as the other characters we discussed, so we're not going to go much into his background because it does not relate to mythology. So, however, his theme song is very beautiful, and I actually heard the song before I saw it implemented and attached to the gameplay. So I had a preconceived notion about the song, and it's angelic, it's triumphant, like I thought it was so pretty. I assumed it would have been used in a flying scene or accompanied by some grand entrance by Magnus or something of the sort. So So now to give you the same experience that I had, I'll go ahead and play the song for you. And then following that, we'll watch a clip of what's going on within the game during Magnus's theme. So here we go. How about that, huh? Good stuff, right? Nothing too crazy. I found the song to be very pretty yet somewhat calming, but also triumphant. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's actually happening within the gameplay during that song.
Look at that!
How did a human make it into the castle?
Well, I didn't expect to see an angel here. Hope this doesn't mean I've kicked the bucket.
I think you should help him.
He's taking on the Underworld Army himself! And surviving! Are you sure this guy's really a human?
Absolutely.
You having a private conversation with yourself, Angel Face?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm Pig, servant of the goddess Palutena. I'm here to defeat Dark Lord Gao.
So, you're here for a slice of the pie too?
Huh? Pie? Where? No, I mean, I'm here to defend humans from the brutality of the Underworld Army.
Sure, you're the angel here. But me, I'm in it for the reward money. Since we both want to take down Gao, how about we work together?
I don't know about that.
What have you got to lose? It'll be easier on both.
Lady Palutena, what do you think?
He makes a compelling argument.
Alright then. Resuming mission Dark Lord Suppression.
I'm Magnus, by the way. Pleased to meet you. Don't hit me. I will get along just fine. I'll follow your lead from here. I've got your back.
I gotta say it. I was shocked when I saw this. The song is just so casually playing in the background of some intense battle scene while Magnus and Pitt are just engaging in some silly banter. It just totally was not what I was expecting at all, and it just blows my mind because, as our previously discussed author stated, the game developers had to work around that entire battle scene, the dialogue, and more when it came to composing that song. It would make for an interesting contrast to first hear the song amongst that battle rather than hearing the song and then sing the battle. It just goes to show how impactful the soundtrack can be within a video game and how the video game can be so impactful of the soundtrack. They are definitely intertwined forces, that's for sure. Well, folks, we learned a lot throughout the course of these videos, didn't we? We learned about the plot of Kid Icarus Uprising, the myth of Icarus, how the mythological influences impacted the characters within the game, and how there's so much that goes into the development of a game soundtrack, and how listening to the soundtrack separately from the game can influence your understanding of the music. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you learned a lot because I know I sure did. Thanks for watching. Bye.